Jill Evans, Plaid MEP. We've had the vote now for Jean-Claude Juncker. How did you vote?
I voted in favour. Like with other major decisions that I make in this Parliament, I look at what's in the best interests of Wales. And so I weighed up the answers he gave us when we spoke to him in the group and the answers he gave this morning when he spoke. And although politically we are different, he is the candidate of the right and he was in favour of the austerity measures, the public spending cuts, which I very much opposed. We have to look forward now, and his focus today was on jobs, on investing in creating jobs, particularly jobs for young people. And I believe that the Welsh Government should be contacting him, liaising with him directly to see how Wales can fit into that. He wants more funding available, he wants more access for young people under the employment initiative. Well, we need that in Wales, so I think that it's better to support him and try and work with him.
Are you saying that you're kind of singing a little bit from the same hymn book, if I can put it like that he maybe agrees with the direction you'd like to see, and how might that relate back to Wales? What might we now see over the next 5 years that benefits Wales as a result of this vote?
Well, there are specific issues that he mentioned. For example, he's against fracking for shale gas. He's against the system by which the Commission allow GMOs to be grown, the present situation. He mentioned things like a compulsory register for lobbyists in Parliament, which we have always called for, a minimum income for people across Europe. One of the things that we said during the election campaign was that people shouldn't be forced to leave their homes to come and work and live in other countries because of poverty. And so we supported the minimum income too. So there are several issues on which we do agree. I would say that overall, politically, I would like to see a much more emphasis on a sustainable economy. He did talk about energy efficiency targets, but it's a lot more than that if we are going to seriously fight climate change. But he's from a small country, a very small country that's been very successful in the EU. He recognises the importance of small nations within the EU, and so I think we should try and be positive and build on all of that whilst understanding the differences between us. And also I did oppose the whole way in which the appointment was made. I opposed the process, but now we come down to the actual person, the candidate, so we should try and work with him.
And what about jobs? That's going to be the big focus. It's something he's talked a lot about in the debate this morning and at previous stages. Is he going to bring benefits to Wales in terms of jobs, growth and the economy, do you think?
Well, one thing he specifically mentioned was cutting red tape for small businesses, something we hear very often. I want to see how specifically he's going to do that, because that is of critical importance for us in Wales. We want to help small businesses to grow, to take on more people, and that's the way forward. The private sector has been very much left out in Wales in terms of European funding and being involved in strengthening the economy by using the support available from Europe. And I hope that if he comes forward with specific proposals on that we can really use that in Wales. So what we need to do is meet him. The Welsh Government need to meet him, invite him to Wales, talk to him about what we need to bolster our economy and see what he can propose.
I mean, from his speeches here and that he gave in previous weeks in Brussels, he gives very much the impression that he believes very much in the systems, the European systems here. Does that not leave a risk that he will be wanting to talk to the government in Westminster as the member state, as they call it in EU parlance, rather than talking or taking an interest in Wales as a region of the UK as he might see it?
Well, then it's the job of the Welsh Government to make sure that he realises just how much power there is in Wales over policy areas like agriculture, like the environment. It's not Westminster that deals with EU legislation on so many issues now. It is the Welsh Government. And so if he understands that, then the Welsh Government will be able to work with him. He did say that he supported reform here too, and of course one of the reforms we want to see is a much greater role for the small nations within Europe working together positively, and we are going to see huge change this year with the referendum in Scotland and a referendum in Catalonia. And so he said up until now that he will respect the results of those referenda, so we have to see how we move forward into 2015 after those elections have taken place, and how he responds to that, how he can work with and support small nations, and I would include Wales in that, in the whole process of constitutional change.
A very brief last word on the way you voted compared to, I suspect, nearly all the other UK MEPs. Obviously the Conservatives, probably most if not all of the Labour MEPs too, not backing Juncker. You're very much at odds with that.
Yes, as I say, I look at what's best for Wales, and in this instance I felt that it was better to support him, to give him an opportunity to work with him in a very positive way in Wales's interests. In the past I voted against the nominations for European President of the Commission for very similar reasons. I have to look at what's in favour and what's against a particular candidate, and in this case I think that it was better to support him. But now the work starts of ensuring that he recognises what the needs of Wales are and what our demands will be.